recently read the book Iron John by Robert Bly, and it's really the best way I've seen anyone describe boundaries. And he compares boundaries to inner warriors. And inner warriors are, I always imagine the court of a king, and you go to visit the king, and there's the guys with the really big spears that are crossed, and you have to ask permission to go see the king, and then if you get approved, they part the big spears and you're allowed to get through. And so those are our bodyguards, our inner warriors that are always watching for us and are ready to protect us if someone without permission is trying to break through to our most precious resources. And the way Robert describes the warriors, to me, was really helpful, because every time we judge ourselves, we criticize ourselves, we shame ourselves, and we indulge in that kind of internal dialogue, we weaken our warriors. And when we focus on the things that we do good, the things that we deserve a pat on the back for, and the things that make us better people, then our warriors are strengthened. And there's a couple of other tips I want to share with you on how to execute your boundaries, because there's a process of, first of all, understanding that we deserve to be protected and to protect ourselves from the intrusions, the unwanted intrusions of others. And the second part is, how do we implement it? How do we make that happen without being too rude or too closed off? And so I'm going to give you 2 tips here. First tip is about delaying. So if someone is asking something of me that I think it wouldn't serve me to do for them, or I don't have the energy or the resources to provide that for them, but I'm afraid to say it because they may get offended or hurt, then I delay the answer and I say, can I sit with that? Can I sit with that before giving you an answer? And it really gives me time to check in with myself and see whether I really want to do that, or I'm purely doing it to protect their feelings. I even ask that when someone needs an answer right away, and I say, can I sit with that for just a moment? I need to check in with myself. And I literally take a deep breath and I close my eyes and I sit with that, and I double check with myself if that is something that I want to do, or if I'm doing it because I'm feeling pressure by the moment. And a second tip I want to give you is related to when your boundaries are received with a lot of hostility, because as you're changing and enforcing more your boundaries and honoring yourself more and doing things that are actually serving you and not carrying somebody else's burden, the more you do that, the more people are, it's at least in the beginning, people are not going to like it and they're going to have some resistance to it. So one way I deal with that is by offering compassion. So if I tell my friend, I'm not going to go out drinking with you again, and she gets really upset and feels like this is, you don't like me, you don't want to hang out with me, I become compassionate immediately. I say, I get it that this looks like that, and it really doesn't have anything to do with you, and I know that you're upset, and I'm going to honor myself anyway. And that takes practice to do, but I truly encourage you to begin in strengthening and honoring your boundaries in a compassionate way by recognizing that it might be difficult for your partner or your coworker or your friends to adjust to this change. In order to honor our boundaries, it is necessary for us to raise our tolerance to being in the company of uncomfortable feelings that may arise in other people around our boundaries. So anger and frustration and sadness may arise in the people around you when you enforce your boundaries. And that's okay. Can that be okay? How can we practice being okay with people having less than ideal feelings about us or about our boundaries? Thank you so much for watching. I hope something in this video was helpful for you. And if you have any other ideas or tips on how to become more mindful or more empowered about your boundaries, I encourage you to share them with me and my audience below. Thank you so much.